In this module, we're going to cover brooding. A brooder is a container where you put chicks in after they hatch. I have several types of brooders here to show you today, and I'm going to show you how to set each of them up. First, we have the wire brooder. These can be purchased commercially, and they usually don't cost too much. Then I have a plastic brooder, and these types of things can be picked up usually at a big box store or a place like that. It's basically just a large plastic container. I also have a feeder. These can be picked up or purchased locally at a feed store or possibly even online. Waterers, they can also be purchased locally. Now let me show you just something really quick about these waterers though. I have several different types here, and this right here says it's for chicks. However, I found in my experiences that this one for quail actually works better. If you use one like this for chicks, what you need to do is put some marbles in it, because what will happen is the chicks will actually fall in the water and drown. We do not want that to happen. And finally, we're going to need a heat source. And these heat sources, again, are lamps that can be purchased locally. Now let me tell you how to set these things up. First of all, let's talk about our wire brooder. Our wire brooder, again, it has a bottom tray for easy cleaning, and it has a wire mesh floor that the droppings sometimes will drop through. We usually put some sort of newspaper or other material on top of the wire, because what happens is the chicks, when they're first born, their feet are very small and they tend to fall through the cracks, and we do not want that to happen. This prevents them from falling down. Then we'll get us our feeder. We'll put chick starter in our feeder. That's the type of feed that you can get from a local feed store, and we'll place it in the brooder. Next, we'll have our waterer. Don't let the waterer fool you. The way it works is you unscrew it, you put the water in, then you put the lid on. It's a lid, but it's really the bottom. You turn it over really quick, and you place it in the brooder. Don't forget your heat source. You may have noticed that there's a hole in the side of this brooder. No, it's not so the chicks can escape. This brooder is actually one designed for a different type of feeder, but this feeder doesn't work very well when the chicks are very young. This is the type of feeder that you would move to once they get just a little bit older. So what you do is you don't place that feeder in place right this moment, and you cover up this hole with a piece of paper or some other material so the chicks can't flee. Once you've got those things set up, you simply turn the light on and set it on top. Now let's talk about our other type of brooder. This is basically a plastic container, as I said before, but it could be a box or any other type of container. You want to have your good flooring. Pet chips work great. Blue shop towels work great as well. When you put down the pet shavings, just put a nice even cover in the bottom of it. If you decide you'd rather use the blue towels, which work great, you put about 5 or 6 layers of towels in it. This makes cleanup very easy. After you've done that, again, you put in your water and your feeder, and on the opposite side, you place your light. The temperature that you would like inside your brooder is about 98 degrees once they first begin. Now the chicks will tell you if they're too hot or too cold. No, they're not going to speak to you, but their behavior will allow you to understand what's going on. If you find the chicks are always trying to go around the edges, or they're on the opposite side in a big huddle away from the light, they are probably too hot. You may need to try a different light bulb or adjust the temperature accordingly. If you find the chicks in a big huddle right underneath the light, they are too cold. That is very bad. Either bring the light source or heat source a little bit closer to them, or bring it up a couple different watts. Now that you've got your brooder set up in your classroom, the next question is, when do I put the chicks in it? Well, what I like to advise people is you leave the chicks in the incubator until they've dried off. Once they've hatched, they will rest in the bottom of the incubator, and they will eventually get dry and fluffy. Once they dry out, you take them from the incubator and place them in the brooder. And then the question the kids always ask, how long can we keep them? After about a week, you're going to be ready to move on to your next project in your classroom. So about a week would be about as long as you would like to keep them. Chicks grow very fast. After about that time, they don't look like chicks anymore.